Alright, today we got the Traxxas Slash build kit. This is a project I've been meaning to do for a little while now. I've gone over cars I say are good first starter cars for a lot of people, but I really think this might be the best way to start out in this hobby. The Traxxas Slash is probably one of the most popular RC cars out there. It's going to have the most part support, aftermarket options out there for people to change and upgrade as they want to. And being a build kit, it really teaches you how to repair and maintain your RC car. This kit from Traxxas is really nice because it includes everything you need to build the truck. We'll have our BL2S motor and ESC, our steering servo, it includes a radio system. I believe they also offer this with the old XL5 brushed motor system. That's probably a better way to go because there are a lot of spec classes that require that old brushed motor. Alright, let's open it up and take our first look at the kit. We got our instructions. We got some basic tools, some shock clips. Looks like our sticker sheet. We'll take a closer look later. We have our clear body. We'll go over painting that. Wheels, the rest of the parts for the kit. Alright, let's go over our manual. Alright, the instruction manual is very nice. Nice breakdown of hardware. It's all printed in color. Tells you your hardware you need for each step. Has a built-in ruler at the bottom of every page. Little tricks and warnings on each step to make sure you get it done right. Very nice. Each bag is labeled and looks like it contains all the parts you need for that step. We're going to be using this little work mat, help keep our hardware contained from rolling off the edge of the table. Alright, let's get wrenching. Looks like our first step is the differential. Alright, differential's built. Seems to work very smooth. Next step is shocks. Alright, got the shocks built. They were already pretty much pre-assembled, just had to fill them up with oil and bleed out the air. But they feel pretty smooth. Alright, next up we got the transmission. Alright, main part of the transmission's all assembled. Now we add the motor and the slipper clutch. Alright, we'll need some pieces out of the electronics bag for this, the pinion gear, the motor. Let's open this up. Alright, we got the rear module all built. Now it's time to attach it to the rear shock tower. We'll need the rear suspension bag for that. Alright, we got the rear module all assembled. The rear suspension, motor, and transmission. Got the rear bumper. Alright, now it's time for the front suspension. Well, sometimes you make mistakes. I installed the hubs on the wrong side. I gotta flip them around. Alright, got the front suspension and steering module all put together. Now it's time to start on the main chassis. Alright, we got the main chassis together. Now let's add the front and rear modules to the chassis. Alright, we got the chassis all together. Now let's paint a body for it. Alright, we have our clear Lexan body. I'm going to start off washing the body, mainly concentrating on the inside where you're going to do your painting. Just using warm water and soap. We got the body all clean. Now let's add our window masks. Alright, we got the window masks on. Now we're going to give the body a light scuff on the inside for the paint to stick to. I'm going to clean it off one more time, and then we're ready to start spraying. Alright, let's get some paint on the body. We're going with a pearl blue. We're going to start off with a very light dust coating for the first coat. Let's get going. Alright, for the second coat, we'll put it on a little heavier. After finishing your base color, you normally want to back it with something white, black, or silver. For this blue pearl, I probably should have had silver, but I have white, so that's what we're going to use. You know what? I don't think I'm a big fan of these Pro-Line paints. Kind of spit at you. Not even atomization. Alright, we have the body all painted and installed on the chassis. It was a simple paint job, but I think it turned out pretty good. I had some footage of unmasking the windows and applying the decals, but I must have lost it. But it was a fun build. The instructions were really easy to follow. All the parts and hardware are very nice quality. So if you're looking to get in the RC hobby or pass it on to a new generation, I think this is a great start. Building the car from a kit gives you the confidence to be able to go out and send it, knowing you can repair it if you break anything. And being a Traxxas Slash, you know you can be able to find parts at any hobby shop. So that's why I gotta say, the Traxxas Slash build kit is the best vehicle to start the RC hobby. Thanks for watching.